Guys, my name is SoMount64, and over the past couple of days I've uploaded a couple sniping videos mentioning the 338 rounds, and both in the comments as well as tweets I've been receiving and just general gameplay, it feels like there's still some confusion out there in terms of what this accessory really does for the R700 and AWM snipers. I was curious of this as well, so I went to an empty lobby and server with Alex94 Kumar and just blasted away at him for an hour or two, gathering some data points. Put it together on a graph, and that's what we're going to take a look at today. I think the first misconception most players have, especially more casual players, when saying this, is that it increases your bullet's damage, when in fact it doesn't. What it does is it maintains that 100 damage that the R700 and AWM initially shoot out at, and preserves it so that 100 damage can hit at further out ranges. Initially, looking at the green line, that's the standard no accessory R700, after 12 meters, that bullet is no longer doing 100 damage. 100 damage being a one-shot kill. By the time you get to 50 meters out, you're already down to 80 damage, so you're going to be getting an assist count as kill. And by the time your bullet reaches 100 meters out, it's down to 59 damage. And no matter how far out from there, you've got 60 base damage to deal. Now, if you're dealing with the 338 rounds, once that's on, you're able to maintain a one-shot kill up to 69 meters out. We were doing this by testing it. He was standing directly on the objective where the meter marker is, and then I was backing up, and at 69, as soon as I went to 70, my shots were only doing 99 damage, therefore requiring me to hit a second shot, no longer giving me the one-shot kill. I kept backing up, and by the time I got to 150 meters out, that was when I started getting the 60 damage shot, or it's actually 59 damage shots for both of them. That's when they both become the same again, and from that point onwards, you're always going to have a base damage of 59. Now, we were shooting the chest to determine this base damage, right? That's always going to be your core, where it's a normal damage shot. If you get a headshot, you have an increased multiplier. Well, what about the arms, legs, feet? We tested this out and found something pretty interesting. In terms of right now in the beta, if you hit somebody in the arms, it actually has the same multiplier as if you hit somebody in the chest. So as long as you're getting a hit marker above the waist, you're pretty much going to have the same multiplier. The same thing is true when you get somebody in the foot and the legs. Regardless of where you hit them, if you get them below the belt, you're going to get the same damage. So then what's the spread between hitting somebody above or below the belt? What's the difference? Well, up to 61 meters out, the maximum damage that you can do to the legs or feet is 97. Even at point blank, it is not a one-shot kill. So if you see somebody crouched behind a truck, you only have access to their feet, it's going to be a two-shotter. Even if it's the top of the legs, you're going to have to put one in them and then swap over to your pistol or take another shot. The damage will then start to drop off at 8 meters before torso shot at 61 meters and decrease all the way down to the same point at 150 meters out, but it'll be doing 5 less damage at 54. That being said, it'll always be a two-shot kill, no matter the distance or where you hit them. Unless, that is, they do have the Enforcer's ballistics insert, which protects their chest. And then while I was at it, I thought it would be interesting to compare the R700 and AWM with these 338 rounds against the Knockout and the Scout Elite, which both, of course, not having the 338 rounds as an option of an accessory. Against the Knockout, the R700 with 338 rounds has an additional 19 meters of one-shot kill range. On top of that, it has all of that extra room to run, with it eventually reaching its cap at 150 meters, dealing 60 damage. When you compare that to the Knockout, you can see how much faster that drops down, and when you're just past 75 meters, you're only dealing 50 damage. Obviously, the Knockout has other benefits, though, by being suppressed, much more aggressive sniper, and if you want to learn more about that, or how to unlock it, link to my previous video below. When comparing it to the Scout Elite, that one only has 75 damage max its entire range, so it's always going to be a two-shot kill, where it makes up for it in speed of shooting, obviously, but that one will drop off at a range slightly further out than the Knockout, and providing one extra base point of damage at the final range, which again is the point that the sniper's damage will not go below, unless of course you hit a leg shot. When you're talking about the Knockout or Scout Elite, though, you don't really have an option. Straight pull is going to be your best accessory. When it comes to the R700 and AWM though, what should you choose? I think the 338s have an advantage, and you should use that for most situations, but the straight pull definitely still has its place. Let me explain. The real threat with snipers comes with the one-shot kill capacity, and extending that out to the farthest possible, which in this case is 69 meters, makes you an extreme threat, especially on closer quarter maps like we have now. In addition, if you're playing against vehicles, it's almost always better to have this, just because if you're running around or you don't have a target to kill, if you've got a helicopter overhead, you're still going to be able to constantly be putting out damage, earning points, and helping your team. The drawbacks to the 338s lie in the massive amount of kick that you have to suffer through, as well as not being able to stay ADS while you take your shot. This is going to hurt you in long-range situations, making it even more difficult than it already is. Trying to take that first shot to zero on your second one? Guess again, you're not going to have any idea where it went unless you shoot at a building and see where it actually landed afterwards. The counter to this is once you get a really good feel for where that drop is, you're not going to really have to worry about zeroing and you can pick up constant shots. That being said, once the bullet reaches 150 meters out, it doesn't even matter that you have the 338s on, which is why the straight pull takes the advantage in the long range. You can stay ADS and deal the exact same amount of damage while shooting faster and keeping your shots on, seeing where your bullets are going. Plus, after the 69 meter mark, it still doesn't matter because it's always going to be a two-shot kill. That, of course, the maximum point that the 338s will pick up the one shot. You may be saying now, well, what about long range with the Scout Elite or the 300 Knockout? They have a minimum damage of 51 and 50. The problem with that is when you get a leg shot, it's only 46 and 47 damage. It's much more difficult to then go on to hit a third shot, especially at long range, than it is to just pick up the two-piece even. So because of that, if you're going for long range, the 700 straight pull is your best option. The 338s are still such a good argument though, just because of the power that they have against vehicles. That team play aspect of being able to always constantly shoot the helicopters, the cars on hot wire, make it a terrific attachment. Let me know what you guys think of the 338s, as well as what you'll be using in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video and the information, click the thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new to the channel. If you're looking for something else to watch, check out my previous video where I show how to unlock the 300 Knockout, as well as feature some gameplay from that. Plus, check out my recommended video with the insane top 10 clips from Battlefield Hardline I know you're gonna love. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. This is SoMount64, signing out.